Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of The Take. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you join us here on The Take on this Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Take here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right, let's get started with the take with the big story of the week. The big story of the week is this. You won't believe it. The Democrats and the Republicans are still at each other's throats. In the midst of it is Donald Trump. Donald Trump still trying to the government having their shutdown and stuff, and the Trumpster, like they like to call him, came and did some damage control about what's going on. Here's what Donald Trump had to say.
And this is used sometimes for evening, where we've had some incredible people for the evening, and some of the big foreign leaders have been coming. And most excitingly, on the other side, you see the fence and the wall. We're building a world-class ballroom. You know, for 150 years, they've wanted a ballroom here. We don't have a ballroom. We have a little cocktail area, but we don't have a ballroom. The East Room, it's called, is a very small cocktail area. It holds about 88 people if it's tight. And I said, if I do this again, I'm going to get a ballroom built, and we're putting up our own money. With the government is paying for nothing. You probably hear the beautiful sound of construction to the back. You hear that sound? Oh, that's music to my ears. I love that sound. Other people don't like it. I love it, Josh. I think when I hear that sound, it reminds me of money. In this case, it reminds me of lack of money because I'm paying for it, so it's the opposite. But it's going to be one of the most beautiful ballrooms anywhere in the world.
All right, you heard from President Trump during that speech and his press conference about the ballroom that everyone's been talking about. A lot of Americans are struggling, and some are kind of unhappy with the president when the president's trying to build a ballroom in the East White House with other folks' money, rather his own money. And the point is, dude, you ain't gonna be here for another more than 3.5 years. You talking about want to put another ballroom in? Come on, man. You about to by the time you be done and completed, the ballroom be done and you'll be out of office. But we listen to a person that
For some
does
reason,
this.
with this, they keep taking it. Don't take Tylenol. There's no downside. Don't take it. You'll be uncomfortable. It won't be as easy, maybe, but don't take it. If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol. And don't give it to the baby after the baby is born.
All right, the president trying to make his case known on what's going on with that ballroom. But I mean, it's a ballroom, so I mean, it looks nice and dandy. But I mean, do it with your money or do it with when you get out. So you ain't got to be put in the White House. He just join the White House as he go and he does as he please. That's what Donald Trump does, and Donald Trump be heading back. But hey, there's Donald Trump. We'll talk about a little bit later on about Trump on political rundown coming up shortly. Let's get to this right here in celebrity news. In celebrity news, we talk about this right here. Jennifer Lopez. If we can show JLo getting herself prepared for a lot. She was on the
I think we make progress, and progress can be slow sometimes. But I do believe in people, and I do believe that things get righted. And I think Bad Bunny is going to do amazing at the Super Bowl, and I can't wait to see it. And I can't wait for all of you to see.
JLo talking about Bad Bunny. And she's happy to see Bad Bunny. JLo and Shakira did one like what about a couple of years ago for the Super Bowl. Well, JLo appeared on the Howard Stern show, and JLo was asked a question about her exes. Here's what JLo interesting take was.
Do you think you've truly been loved?
No.
No. And do you think you really have experienced loving someone?
Yes.
You have.
Yeah.
And when you can't get that love back,
What I learned, it's not that I'm not lovable. is that they're not capable.
They can't love.
They don't have it in them.
They
They
have
need to appreciate the little person inside of
They
them.
have
They
little
need to
to
love
give.
them. Yeah.
You've been in a relationship with
And they
people.
gave me what they had.
Right, but
They
it's
gave
not
me
enough.
all of it. Every time.
But it's this much. It's
All the
little bit.
rings, all the things I could ever want.
Right.
They tried to give me the houses, the rings, the marriage, all of it. But
They didn't love you
they didn't,
and didn't know you.
and I didn't love myself.
Right. It's tough. This is some journey, right?
It is.
And, I was thinking about your music. Most of your songs are about love. They really are.
They're all about love.
All right, Jennifer Lopez. Well, she do know a thing too about songs. JLo. Love Don't Cost a Thing. All I Had More with LL Cool J. Um, If You Had My Love. All those Jennifer Lopez hit songs back in the day. And the marriages and relationships with Diddy, Ben Affleck, Maury Anthony, A Rod, Casper Smart. Good God, that's a roster right there. That's a list of men that she's been with. But J Lo, trying to navigate the findings of love, as she like to call it. But that's J Lo. So J Lo's trying to say she's a hopeless romantic in more ways than one. Here's J Lo on Watch What Happens about what she got going on now, projects and stuff.
The Bravoverse will kill me if I do not ask this next
Yes.
question.
What's that?
Okay. It came up at a Southern Charm reunion a few years ago. Southern Charm is a show about a group of fops in Charleston, South Carolina. That your ex, A-Rod, was DMing one of the cast members.
Okay.
And that there was a lot of speculation in the press or on this show that somehow led to your breakup. Is there anything you can speak to about that?
I really have nothing to say about my personal life anymore. I feel like I'm done with that.
All right. Okay. Next up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
All right, J Lo appeared on Watch What Happened Live. Now a rumor about her and Alex Rodriguez by the time were engaged to J Lo, and things just didn't work out. Things just fizzled. Well, Rodriguez was talking to another girl and got caught, and J Lo kind of confirmed, like, yeah, that's kind of broke the tie because they was engaged to get married and just didn't happen at the time. Well, we go to this right here on Tamron Hall. You can go to Tamron Hall. Can you pull up the Tamron Hall show right quick? On Tamron Hall welcomed the erratic, the incensed. If we can go back. On Tamron Hall, we meant to say, Tamron welcomed Cam Newton. Cam Newton appeared on Tamron Hall's show, and Cam gave his takes on everything about why he made controversial remarks.
Why haven't you officially retired?
I don't care to.
Yeah. Why?
You know what I'm saying? I think, yeah.
Because so here's my theory. Because at your peak, right, 6'5", around 245 pounds, give or take, which is curious. I've always wondered. Did you direct yourself to be a quarterback? Were there coaches who said, this guy this size, he should be in another role? Thank you. Position.
Yeah.
Position.
Yeah. I think that was almost the gift in me to be rebellious, to be stubborn. Man, he's so big. He's so athletic. Man, put him at tight end.
Yeah.
He could do so. Like, man, put him at receiver. Oh, my goodness. But put him at safety. And one of those things that my father instilled me is like, yo, have confidence in what you want to do. Tell me what you want to do. And then we'll figure everything else out. So, yes, there were journeys that, there was a time where going through this journey, you start to lose belief in can I play? Yeah. Am I supposed to play this sport? And understanding when I first came into the league, it was Michael Vick, it was Vince Young, Donovan McNabb, if that.
Yeah.
Now you see Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray, you know, Bryce Young. Like the list goes on of minority quarterbacks and athletic quarterbacks. So, yeah, just to see that, you know, where the game is now and pivoting from that to go into media, it was like, yo, I am an expert unbeknownst to what I've been experienced or exposed to. I've been playing this game since I was 7 years old. And
Since you were 7.
7.
All right, you heard right there from Cam Newton talking about his rise as being a quarterback at the time. Cam said more stuff. Here's what
I
Cam
know
had
that
to
you
say.
have praised Jalen as an elite winner. He's recently moved up on your list, top 10. But there was a conversation back in July. People got, quote unquote, upset with you.
Yes.
Why do you think that was?
I'm in the business as a member of the media to talk about football critique. I'm in the business as a member of the media to talk about, I missed the word, my football critique.
Yeah.
Now, Jalen Hurts, what he embodies as the individual is something that not a lot of people give him credit for.
Right.
He's an unbelievable person. Unbelievable. Stand-up guy, and everything that we expect out of men, he is. Right?
Yeah.
And I think oftentimes when you're such a likable person, if you do not go with the flow of likability or likable quotes, it's going to raise a couple eyebrows or raise people's attention. And my job as a member of the media is to give my football critique. So when we're talking about football specific events, when I look at the Philadelphia Eagles, I've said it ad nauseum that they are the best team in the NFL. And it requires not as much as you would ask another player. And that's not to say he's not capable. I'm not saying that. It's just my football critique of what I'm watching on a Sunday to Sunday basis. Is he capable for throwing 300 yards? Absolutely. Does he have the capacity to put the whole team on his back and carry a team? Absolutely. But he's not asked to do that consistently.
Right.
That's my football critique.
Okay, dude, you too much. Cam Newton is simply jealous of Jalen Hurts. Cam, let it go. Jalen got a Super Bowl ring than you did. You was close. You was close by this inch to win a Super Bowl ring. You know, Jalen still got another 10 years left in him, or 10 years left in him. He wants to win championships. He won a Super Bowl. You didn't. And you jealous of that. And you saying they the best team. You make yourself like a hypocrite. You walking scarecrow. That's what you is, Cam Newton, a walking scarecrow. I mean, yeah, handsome features and stuff, good looks. And all of a sudden now you want to turn to one of the people from the Wizard of Oz. So man, just let Jalen Hurts do his thing. And Dax Prescott from the Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, he's doing his thing. He's really improving. So, you know, but Patrick Mahomes, he's doing the same thing. So a lot of these quarterbacks are, like you said, minority quarterbacks. You paid the way for them, and you feel like you entitled on. They don't owe you nothing. They just trying to play their game so they can win Super Bowl titles and money and prize and prestige. You had all that, but you just didn't get the Super Bowl ring. So just be that a disgruntled, angry former quarterback that used to be good, real good. Just fell on the wayside. This is it. All right, we get to this right here on talk shows this week. You know, talk shows this week. We talk about this right here on the Jennifer Hudson show. J Hood. J Hood welcomes Selena Gomez. J Hood welcomes Selena Gomez on her being to the married life rather than the single life. Let's take a look.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
On you guys' wedding, and it was beautiful because we got to see some of the photos. You had three. Did you see this? Three dresses. How did you decide like which was for what moment?
Well, so I tried to do this sneaky thing. I'm sure you can relate, but I didn't want anyone to get photos of my wedding unless it was from me, and I keep my life as private as I can. So that dress was initially for the look, and then this one was made by Ralph Lauren. They all were, but this was my favorite dress, and
it is gorgeous.
Thank you.
All right, you saw Selena Gomez talking about her wedding day and stuff. So Selena Gomez looking phenomenal as well. Also, too, back on Tamron Hall. Tamron Hall welcomed Jordan Woods. Jordan Woods returning after that controversy of her being unfriended by the Kardashians, especially her former first friend, Kylie. Here's what Jordan Woods had to say.
Well, I'm with my best friend, so it's like we get to do life every single day. We were friends for years before we got together, so for me, it was never like, oh my gosh, I met this guy and now we're together. We were friends. He went through a lot in his life. I lost my dad when I was 19. And so through what I've gone through, I was able to be a different type of support system for him. And that's what really blossomed our relationship to come together.
I heard you talk about really that sense of loss and grief, both of you losing parents and then meeting and having this best friend to be there on the sad days, but also root for you on those good days, like when you go viral for a boot that you created or when the Knicks are able to pull in a victory. Okay, so what would he say is the thing he loves most about you?
If we're not speaking physical, I would say my sense of humor.
Yeah.
And my resilience.
And what do you love most about him?
I mean, I could say the same thing about him. He's like a big kid, and sometimes it's a lot, but he really keeps things exciting. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Being able to channel your youth, and when things get hard, being super supportive and super optimistic. He is the most positive person, and it's really important to have people like that.
All right, that was Jordan Woods talking about NBA point guard Cat Carl Anthony Towns. Him, Jalen Brunson, Josh Allen, they are really becoming a formidable team as the New York Knicks, and they could go all the way. This time they was close last season, but they could go back again this season and win it all. I'm kind of rooting for New York Knicks to kind of win. They're kind of doing good with those offensive plays. I tell you that right now. New York Knicks, I'm kind of rooting for underdog teams, like not the established teams like LeBron, Steph Curry. They're good, but you can tell LeBron is kind of winding down a little bit. You can tell his career is about to come to an end. He got about probably a year left in him. You know how that be? Well, Steph Curry probably got 5 years left in him as well. So they're winding down and stuff like that. So we'll see how that's going to go forward and stuff. We'll be back with more take. Don't go anywhere. This is the take here on Connect TV. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the take. I'm your host as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the take on this Thursday, October 23rd, 2023. Don't forget, next week will be our Halloween week, and we're gonna have a lot of Halloween stuff coming your way next week. You can tell right here, this is a preview. Krispy Kreme doing Halloween stuff with a trick or treat donuts. You can tell right here 12 dozens of glazes and stuff for Krispy Kreme for the Halloween stuff. So don't forget, next week we'll have that as well as this right here. Capri Sun doing trick or treat pouches, trying to tell you like, hey, it's one that's impossible on and there's one that's not. Well, A lot of people saying, what do you do with
Poking
the
the straw
one that's
into
not
a
open?
Capri Sun sometimes feels impossible. But this Halloween, it actually is. Introducing Capri
Well, you ain't
Sun
got
trick
work.
and treat pouches. One that's impossible to open and one that's not. Get yours at walmart.com and get pranking.
Well, I guess if that is the case, I'm gonna do this right here. I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it with scissors and stuff and just drink it. I ain't finna make it. I ain't finna do all this impossible stuff for my own fun and games. That's what the you know
Poking the
what do
straw
and
into a
stuff.
Capri Sun sometimes feels impossible. But this Halloween,
Nah, I'm just gonna cut it and drink it out from there. If I can't open it, I'm gonna cut it. So it ain't gonna be no if and buts about it. I'm just gonna cut it. All right. We get to this right here on the political rundown this week. On the political rundown, what a political rundown we talk about. We talk about this right here. We're still talking about the continuing coverage of the government shutdown. Here's what President Trump had to say about the shutdown even more right here.
Unfortunately, in a craven and pointless act of partisan spite, Chuck Schumer, who I've known for a long time, and the radical left Democrats are holding the entire federal government hostage to appease the extremists in their party. And they are extreme. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. They're extreme. And you know what? We had a landslide election. We won the popular vote by a lot. We won the swing states, all 7. Remember, they said, oh, if Trump could get 3 swing states, he'd be. And, well, I didn't get 3. I got 7. We got all 7 by a lot, by record numbers. We won the Electoral College, 312 votes. They said it's very hard for a Republican. No, it's harder for a Republican, although now I think we've swapped it. I think it's now harder for a Democrat, because if you see what we've done with the Hispanics, with the black workers and black men, and recently a poll came out with black men and women were doing so well. You know, they want security. They don't want to have their city destroyed. Women in Chicago, beautiful black women walking around with red MAGA hats because they don't want to be mugged and shot and everything else. And then you see a Democrat get up and tell you how safe it is in Chicago. Do you know they've had, in a fairly short period of time, 4,000 murders?
All right, that was Donald Trump talking out his butt again, talking about random stuff about black people want security. Why you gotta put us in this mess? Some of us are, some people are black, are supporters of him. Some ain't. I mean, why you gotta do that, man? Just is what it is. But I mean, he's trying to focus on the economy. But when it's like a Republican controlled House, Senate, Congress, the Supreme Court, majority Republican, and then the executive branch where he's at is Republican. You can't tell me that this ain't on rigged. This is something that the Republicans had made. They keep on putting the blame game going on. Here's what the Democrats had to say about it. Take a look.
The effect of we're talking to Democrats. So, A, have you had any conversations as of late with the president or the White House? And B, what do you make of his willingness maybe to strike a deal here?
Well, the White House has gone radio silent since the Oval Office meeting last Monday, and neither Leader Schumer or myself have heard a word from the administration about resolving this issue, making clear to us that the White House wanted to shut the government down, to continue the chaos that they've been inflicting on the American people since day one of this presidency. It's an interesting statement that the president has made, and I think both House and Senate Democrats are clear. We'll sit down anytime, any place with anyone from your administration, including the president, to get a resolution here with respect to the Affordable Care Act tax credits, which need to be extended right now, as well as dealing with and addressing the Republican health care crisis that is devastating everyday Americans all across the country.
Do you still intend to call House Democrats back into D.C. this week at all?
We have a caucus meeting at 6 p.m. today, we'll have a House Democratic Caucus leadership meeting. That's the full leadership tomorrow, and I expect a strong presence of House Democrats throughout the week here in Washington. And the interesting thing to me is, why are House Republicans still on vacation? They've actually been on vacation for the last few weeks, and Mike Johnson, once again, has canceled votes. Why are they so afraid of being here at the Capitol and doing their job? Why don't Republicans want to swear in Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva? Is it the Epstein files? Is it the unwillingness to address the Republican health care crisis? Is it because they know the American people have blamed Republicans for recklessly shutting down the government? Or is it all of the above? House Democrats are here on duty. House Republicans remain on vacation. That's a shame. Back.
What do you say to your young?
That is a shame, but Mike Hakeem Jeffries did make a point. Like, hey, come on now, let's make a deal. Let's go and get the shutdown. They know they're doing. Republicans doing this on purpose. They just doing this on purpose, and they know they're doing it. But here's one Republican who don't think so. Take a look.
President, thank you for having us. This is the fourth week of the Democrat shutdown, but we are all here today because your Republican team in the Senate is unified. This is now the longest full shutdown in history, but everybody here has voted now 11 different times to open up the government, and we are going to keep voting to open up the government, and eventually the Democrats, hopefully sooner or later, are going to come around. But, Mr. President, your agenda is the right one for this country. This is your team. We are your partners in achieving and implementing the agenda that you campaigned on and the American people voted for. And you just mentioned it has been a series of promises made and promises kept, whether it's national security, whether it's the border, whether it's the economy, taxes, regulations, energy, Trump newborn accounts, school choice. You look at what we've accomplished so far. It is a remarkable, remarkable team and a record of accomplishment that can't be matched. And I would argue, at least in my time here, but perhaps in all of history. So thank you for your leadership, and we will continue to be good partners and work with you to get the work done for the American people. And let's hope that the Democrats get wise and, starting perhaps even today, vote to reopen the government so we can get back to work for the American people. Mr. President, thank you for having us at your home. You have beautiful homes, and thank you for everything you're doing to make this such a beautiful place. This is America's house. We're delighted to be here. Thank you.
All right, you saw right there, John Thune of the Republicans talking about telling what they're doing with their success. They're still not getting the job done. So a lot of eyes and ears are still wondering what's going on with them, but they ain't gonna say nothing about it. They're gonna let you think, but they want you to think. But let it be going forward. A lot of naive Republicans. Like I said, still the government shutdown still going on. This I think they're on close to day 20. 7,000 federal workers furloughed, possible mass firings, and offices shut. So I guess they don't care. They don't care what you think, but
For
he
some
only cares
reason,
about this.
with this, they keep taking it. Don't take Tylenol. There's no downside. Don't take it. You'll be uncomfortable. It won't be as easy, maybe, but don't take it. If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol. And don't give it to the baby after the baby is born.
Crazy, he's insane. He's just all over the place, going crazy and nuts. And he's doing this for George
I
Santos.
have been given an opportunity to rewrite the ending of my life, and I will make sure that it's as honorable as humanly possible and above reproach at all times, because it would be an absolute ungodly irresponsibility to not take advantage of this and do it in the best way possible. I just want to do good.
All right, you saw George Santos getting some little pardon or something expunged by him by President Trump saying he's one of the good Republicans. George Santos Better keep his head on a swivel. I can tell you that right now. 'Cause he better thank Donald Trump. He better thank his lucky stars for Trump. Get him out the mess she's in. It would have been way worse than what it could have been. I can tell you that right now. Also, too, a lot of these places, a lot of these signal stuff got like damn. So we saw all this stuff going down. So they went down as they went down tonight. A lot of the servers and stuff being down. Would it
Vice
be?
President J.D. Vance in Jerusalem for meetings with Israel's president and prime minister.
As the Prime Minister said, these are days of destiny.
The vice president optimistic that the fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hamas would not collapse.
We have a very, very tough task ahead of us, which is to disarm Hamas, but rebuild Gaza to make life better for the people in Gaza, but also to ensure that Hamas is no longer a threat to our friends in Israel.
There's JD Vance and Benjamin Netanyahu
You know, we're
doing.
building right behind us. We're building a ballroom. They've wanted a ballroom for 150 years, and I'm giving that honor to this wonderful place. I think we should do it. This was the ballroom, and this room holds 88 people, and the new one will hold 999 people, which is a difference. I say 999 because I didn't want to crack 1,000. I didn't want people to get concerned because that's getting big. But we're going to have. We'll have the most beautiful ballroom in the country. It's going on, and for those that are interested, we got to get back to baseball. But you see the gold drapes? That's a knockout panel. We knock it in. You go. That comes out, and then you have essentially glass and exactly in the decor of the White House. I didn't know I'd be standing here right now because right on the other side, you have a lot of construction going on, which you might hear periodically. But that's a knockout panel, and that goes right into the ballroom. And the ballroom's going to be beautiful. So you'll have drinks, cocktails.
It's gonna be beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, here on Newsies this week, we talk about this right here. You can see right here the turkey, the leg, the dressing, everything. It's saying like Thanksgiving's gonna be a little high. Bunch of these little gobblers, these little turkeys, they're gonna really gonna set the tone and set the price. Look at the average meal for a Thanksgiving meal, almost $60 for 10. It's, wow, that's a lot. I mean, $60 for 10 people. Woo! But hey, people spending money and then the grocery stores raising the prices when it be coming there and stuff. So you know how that go. Ooh, I'm in the dark. You know what that means? Halloween's coming. It's coming soon. Speaking of soon, let's get to the viral video of the week. On the viral video of the week, wrap it up with a lot. NBA was back. The NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunders winning the NBA championships this past June, now holding their banner. SGA, along with the boys, holding their banner with going against Houston's um Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, they doing a good play right here. SGA right here showing why they're the NBA champs and stuff. So SGA and them winning and stuff, as well as the Lakers. LeBron James was in attendance to take on. He wasn't in there playing, but he went against Steph Curry. It was a same matchup as well. These rivals, the Lakers versus Golden State. So you see all that, a lot of NBA action going forward, and the NBA went back on NBC. So good thing for NBC and the rest of them on how they went. And
Cooper Flag, we were just talking about, the Duke guy, so I can't wait to see him as a Dallas Maverick. Victor Wembanyama is healthy again. I mean, the opening segment was talking about you got sort of the old guys. I mean, I don't know if LeBron wants to think of himself as an old guy, but he's got a little small injury at the moment, but he'll be back in a few weeks. Steph seems to still, be playing as if he were 10 years younger. It feels like he's still in his prime. Kevin Durant's with a new team. I'm going to see him. The Rockets are playing OKC tonight. I'll be out there. Your Knicks.
Oh, yeah.
New coach, but, they got one game away from the finals. I think they're highly motivated. Jalen Brunson's ready, I think, to have an MVP level season. So I'm just really excited for all that's going on around the league.
We're really excited that the league is back back to its rightful home here on NBC.
Yeah, it's back on NBC where it belongs. It's just kind of weird not seeing on TNT no more. You used to seeing it on TNT. You always think when you think about the NBA, you think about the NBA on TNT. And no, it's no longer going to be on TNT no more. What is going on? And then the inside the NBA crew, Shaq, Charles Barkley, and dude name, no matter. But they on ESPN. That's kind of weird. And they had all those highlights montage about Charles Barkley saying, "I don't want to be on ESPN. I ain't finna be working every day, all day, every day." And then they got some but Jack him working with ESPN logo. So I guess Charles Barkley saying I gotta do what I gotta do. But you tell Charles Barkley stuff, but he ain't gonna work every day. All right, that's gonna do it for the tape. You know what that means? It's gonna do it for the tape. What is this going on right here? Oh, what's going on here? Car accident? Man, I know you want to go home and stuff and get ready. I don't know what's going on. We got something going on over there, but get some more news. We'll let you know. So, for me being Kendrick Dix, saying so long, we'll see you next week for the Halloween edition of the tape here on Connect TV. See you later.